Kemi's face hardened. Chica continued. You took the rich marriage because you wanted status. You took our parents' attention and still complained it was not enough. You used my pain like it meant nothing. Even what I lost because of you, you still turned into an insult. People in the boutique had started watching now. Tunde stepped forward. Watch your mouth. Chica turned to him briefly. You stay out of this. Then she faced Kemi again. You think money should only belong where pride is loudest? You think because I married into the village I should become less, but I am not less. Kemi's eyes flashed. You are nothing without pity. Everybody only helps you because they feel sorry for you. Chica slapped her. The sound was sharp enough to silence the whole boutique. For 1 second, even Chica herself stood still. Kemi held her cheek and stared in shock. Not because of the pain, because Chica had finally done what she never expected. The older sister who always bent had refused. Tunde moved at once, but Obina stepped in front of Chica before he could get too close. His voice was calm but firm enough to stop further madness. If either of you harasses my wife again, there will be consequences. Kemi looked from Chica to Obina and saw something she did not like. Chica was slipping beyond her control. She was no longer the same woman who kept quiet just to keep peace. Kemi grabbed her handbag angrily and stormed out. Tunde followed, but not before giving Chica and Obina a dark look. That same evening, the matter got worse. Kemi went straight to their father. She cried, complained, and painted herself as the victim. She said Chica had become arrogant because of village money. She said Obina was turning her against the family. She said he was probably after their family assets too. That was when another truth came fully into the open. Most of the valuable property their late mother had arranged was meant to go largely to Chica, or at least Chica had a rightful claim to a major part of it. Kemi had always known this, and she hated it. To her, it made no sense that Chica, who now lived in the village, should still have a stronger claim than she did. When Chica heard this again later, she was not even surprised. But Obina was clear about it. What belongs to you should remain yours, he told her. Nobody should pressure you to give it up. Chica looked at him quietly. He continued, and if it will make you happier, I will put even more in your name. It's not a problem. He said it so simply that she almost forgot how unusual it was. He did not talk about her rights as if he was doing her a favor. He spoke as if those rights were normal. That only made Kemi more bitter. Because while Obina was speaking of giving, Tunde had already started pressing her for access to her own small money. As wedding plans for Chica and Obina continued, more things about Obina stopped making sense. He had assistants, he had managers, he made one phone call, and things moved. His assistant, Henry Cole, handled several arrangements with the quiet confidence of someone used to very powerful circles. When they went to inspect the hotel booked for their formal wedding, the staff greeted Henry with too much respect for him to be an ordinary worker. Chica noticed it. She also noticed how easily a luxury hotel had been secured, how vendors spoke carefully around Obina, how some people seemed to know him without saying too much. Yet he still dressed simply, still spoke quietly, still carried himself like a man without anything to prove. Then came the wedding dress fitting. A top bridal shop had something already waiting for Chica. When she saw the dress, she was speechless. It was elegant, detailed, and clearly worth a shocking amount. She turned to Obina. You ordered this? He nodded. When? A while ago. A while ago? He smiled faintly. Long before now. That answer stayed with her. When she tried the dress on and came out, Obina looked at her and forgot to hide what was in his face. Love. Open, deep love. For a moment, Chica could not even speak. A simple farmer, even a rich one, should not have had this level of influence. Something about Obina was still hidden. She was sure of it now. But just as happiness was beginning to settle properly in her heart, her father dragged her back into pain. He sent word that she must come for Kemi's wedding ceremony. At first, it sounded like a family duty, something she could endure and leave behind. But Obina did not trust it. Still, Chica went, because part of her wanted to believe her father could not sink lower than he already had. She was wrong. From the moment she arrived, something felt off. She was not welcomed warmly. She was not even treated like the bride's sister. Instead, she was kept away from the main guests, almost hidden, as if her presence would embarrass the family. The message was clear. Kemi was now the important one. Chica, with her village husband, was to remain out of sight. The humiliation stung. Then the real reason came out. Her father called her aside with documents already prepared. He wanted her to sign away her inheritance rights, so that everything would go to Kemi. Chica stared at him. For a second, she could not speak. Then she said slowly, "So this was the reason you called me here." Mr. Obiora looked tired, but not ashamed enough. "Kemi needs the protection more," he said. "She married into a rich family. She must secure her place there. You are in the village now. You don't need much." The words broke something in Chica. Even now, even after everything, he was still choosing Kemi openly. Tears burned her eyes, but she held them back. "That property was left to me by my mother," she said, "not by you. You cannot force me to give it away." His face hardened. "Don't speak to me like that. Then stop treating me like I have no rights." Before things could go further, Obina stepped in. He had not stayed far away. The moment he sensed something was wrong, he came. "As her husband, I need to know why you are pressuring her," he said. Mr. Obiora looked at him with open contempt, mostly because of everything Kemi had already filled his ears with. "This is a family matter," he said. "It does not concern you. It concerns me if it concerns my wife." Mr. Obiora gave a short, cold laugh. "You are only talking because you think marriage into this family gives you a voice." Obina did not react. He only said, "She deserves what is hers." But Mr. Obiora still saw him as just a village man. A man beneath the kind of money he respected. A man Kemi had already described as suspicious, controlling, and unworthy. He dismissed him with his eyes. And Chica stood there once again, forced to face a truth she had tried to outgrow. Her father could see her pain clearly and still choose Kemi. For a long moment, Chica said nothing. Then, under pressure, hurt, and deep disappointment, she collected the pen and signed the papers. Her hand shook, but she signed. When she finished, she placed the pen down and looked first at her father, then at Kemi. Her voice was calm, but final. "From today, act as if you never had me." The room went still. Kemi blinked. Mr. Obiora frowned. "Chica." "No," she said. "I am done. I have given, kept quiet, forgiven, and endured for too long. From today you have only Kemi. Let it stay that way." She turned to her sister. "You wanted everything. Take it." Then she faced her father again. "But do not ever ask me for anything again." She turned and walked out before either of them could stop her. Obina followed her at once. By the time they got into the car, Chica was no longer holding herself together. The tears came hard and quietly. She turned her face away, ashamed to cry, but Obina said nothing foolish. He only stayed close. When they got home, Mama Grace saw Chica's face and understood at once that something terrible had happened. She did not ask questions first. She opened her arms. Chica went into them like a child who had been holding pain too long. Mama Grace held her tightly. "It is enough. You're home now." That word again. Home. It broke something open inside Chica. That night she cried properly for the first time, not because Kemi had won, not because the inheritance was gone, but because she finally accepted that some wounds did not come from enemies. They came from the people who should have loved you best. Mama Grace stayed with her. Obina stayed with her too. Neither of them made her feel weak for breaking. Later, when Chica had calmed a little, Mama Grace went into her room and came back with a wrapped box. She placed it in Chica's hands. Chica looked confused. "Mama?" "Open it." Inside was an old but stunning family heirloom. It was worth a great deal, and Chica could tell immediately that it was not something given lightly. "I can't take this," she said quickly. Mama Grace held her hand. "You can." "No, Mama, this is too much." Mama Grace shook her head. "You are not just my daughter-in-law. You are my daughter. This house is yours too. You are loved here. You are safe here. Chica looked at her, then at Obina, and something settled in her heart. Blood had failed her. Love had built her a new family. That truth healed her more than money ever could. But while Chica was finding peace, Kemi's victory